I started this piece and I'm going to do a little different than I did the last one. This one, I'm sanding the top because I have some deep gouges here that need sanded out so it's smooth. Like there's a pretty deep one. But I need this smooth because I'm going to use the No Pain gel stain on the top. I'm not going to paint the top. So I'm trying something new. But I'll keep doing little short videos as I go along. After I get done sanding, I'm going to scrub it down with the Dixie Belle White Lightning cleaner. Scrub it all down. And then I'm going to start painting the whole bottom, this whole base, drawer, legs, everything with the drop cloth. The Dixie Belle drop cloth color. Got it all scrubbed up. I'm going to use the drop cloth. Again, wet my brush. Distilled water so you don't have cross-contamination in the paint because of dipping your brush in there. That way you don't have any kind of bacteria, mold, anything that'll grow in your paint. And I'm only painting the drop cloth. Finish the second coat. I'm happy with the coverage and how it came out. So now tomorrow I'll do the top. Now I started to distress the edges. So I got the base distressed around all the edges. I didn't wax it yet because I'm thinking when I do the top, I'm gonna do the top with the No Pain gel stain in the espresso. I have a rag ready because if something drops down on there, then I can wipe it and then touch it up with paint. So I think I'm not gonna do the waxing yet, quite yet. I did sand the top a little bit because of I'm trying this new technique I just learned, and of course it's raining. Like I said, I'm doing a different technique. I just saw it with another Dixie Belle customer, so I wanted to try it on this piece. But I'm using the espresso. This is the only product that Dixie Belle carries that is not soap and water soluble, soap and water cleanup. So what I'm going to use a chippy brush, which these are available for 75 cents in our shop, and I'm just going to apply some nice, it's hard to video and do this at the same time, nice steady strokes across the whole top. I'm going to go one way I'm going to put a thin coat across the whole top of this and let it sit before I wipe it off. I'm going to do the whole top this way. I figured it'd be a good time to show you everything I'm doing step by step, but even my mistakes, so then you can learn right along with me. I'm learning as I go also. But what I'm finding is this chippy brush is not covering the way I think an applicator sponge would. I don't want those marks there, and I don't think an applicator sponge will leave that. Yeah, there you can see it. I don't think an applicator sponge will leave that. I think it'll be a nice smoother full coverage, because the chippy brush is just, it's just giving me too many streaks. But also, remember I said about the splatter? Yeah, see? Well, no, wait. See, there's a bunch of splatter. I'm getting splatter down on the skirt. So, I would say, I would wrap it. There's a whole bunch. I would wrap it with a piece of plastic or a rag or something. Just wrap it around so that you don't get this on. Or do this top first and then do your base second. But like I said, I'm learning too. So I'm going to take and wipe this after it sits a little longer. I sanded a little bit so it would get make the wood more porous to soak up that dark espresso color. I was hoping that would soak that up. Okay, I'm going to let it sit for a couple minutes, 5-10 minutes, and then come back and wipe it. I'm going to wipe it and see what I come up with. So I'm just going to full strokes. It's just a t-shirt rag. I'm going to go across. Yeah. I don't like that long streak there, but I can always apply more after this dries. I'm not looking at my phone, I'm looking at my rag, so sorry. Oh boy, I don't know. It's not bad, but it's not what I was expecting. I wasn't expecting those streaks like that. That's the great thing about chalk paint. If you don't like it, and you say, nope, this didn't come out the way I expected it to, I wanted it to look different, you just go right over top with the chalk paint. Just go right over top. And I've done that with pieces that I wasn't happy with, but I don't know. I think I'm going to leave this one go. We'll see. So I'm glad I did. I decided I wasn't hot about it, didn't like it. I just didn't like the lines it was giving me. So I took my rag that I was using to wipe the stain off, and I applied like a lot of pressure to get more wiped off. But I left like it darker. Like I left it lay in the crack there, the crevice. because I want that to be darker. And then what's even nicer that I found is the edges that I sanded so that the wood will become porous enough to hold the paint and stain, or the stain. It really grabbed it and gave it more of a distinct. Now I actually love the way it came out now. So yeah, see there, see it's darker. So it gives it a whole bunch of like whimsical character. Much nicer. Okay. So I'm not going to redo this top. I was thinking about it, but see there again, like I said, there's so much things you can do and try. Don't be afraid to try something because it's not permanent. You can always change it later. And as far as the splatter, I'm not sure. Well, that splatter I am going to fix. I'm just going to go over top with the drop cloth paint, do a little bit of distressing, like just sanding a little bit, and I'm going to wax this whole bottom part and it'll be done, ready for a store. I'm covering those splats. That's one of the great things with chalk paint. You just go right over top. If you don't like the way something came out, or you do like I did and make a mess with splatter, just go right over top. And then after that dries, probably tomorrow, I'll put the wax on, and then this piece will be ready to go in the shop. Now for the last step of the base, I'm going to wax it, seal up the paint with the clear, Best Dang Wax Clear. I'd used this on that last stand also. I just dab it on my brush. I try to use some circular motions so that it hits all the pores of the paint, so no place is left on covered. I'll leave that sit on there for about 5-10 minutes, and then I'll come back and buff it all off. People were asking me about what brushes to use. I use different brushes for different applications. When I'm doing my waxing, I always use like an oval wax brush. I bought this one on Amazon. They last a long time. All I do is wipe it down real well with a dry rag, and I just keep reusing it. Then every so often I take lye soap and scrub it out, let it hang to dry. All right, with buffing, all I do is take a clean, dry cloth, cut up old t-shirts, and rub the wax until you have like no dragging. It gets real smooth. You can feel when you have it buffed into the paint. It gets real smooth. You don't feel dragging. A little bit of elbow grease. All right, this piece is finished, complete. Will be going in the shop for sale. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I did a drop cloth, the whole base of it with the drop cloth. Then I did some distressing on the edges. Then I put clear wax on it. Then the top, I did a little bit of sanding because of some gouge marks and scratches. And I saw a new method I wanted to try where they took the no pain gel stain and wiped that on, left it sit a little bit, and then wiped it off. really happy with how that came out. I wasn't sure about that. That's the first time I tried that, but I'm happy with it. This one's done. Ready for his door.